Hello, I'm 82 years old. If you're in your 50s, I have something important to share with you today. When you're in your 50s, life can sometimes feel like it's moving faster than you ever expected. And when you hit my age, you start to see things from a completely different perspective. Over the years, I've learned lessons that only time can teach. Things I wish I had known in my 50s. Things that can help you live not just longer, but better. So, if you're looking for wisdom that might save you from mistakes or help you make the most of what's ahead, stick with me. In this video, I'm going to share the most valuable lessons I've learned. These are the kind of insights that only come with experience. Trust me, it's never too early to start thinking about the things that really matter in life. Now, in your 50s, you're at a crossroads, where the past shapes who you are and the future starts to feel just a little bit more urgent. But here's the thing. It's not about worrying about what's ahead. It's about making the most of where you are right now. And trust me, it's easier than you think to make small changes that can bring big rewards. Over the years, I've come to realize that life isn't just about the years you have, but how you live them. So, in the next few minutes, I'm going to share 6 key lessons that I wish I had known earlier. Lessons that can guide you through your 50s and beyond and set you up for a future full of wisdom, peace, and joy. From health to happiness, from relationships to regrets, these lessons will make you rethink what's truly important in life. Let's dive in and start with the first one. The importance of taking care of your health, no matter how small the steps are. Lesson 1. Don't take life too seriously. Laugh at yourself. At 82, I've finally figured out the secret to surviving life. Laughter. And not just laughing at funny jokes. I'm talking about laughing at yourself. Believe me, once you get to my age, you realize that life is way too short to take seriously. Let me share a story. One day, I was heading out to a family reunion, all dressed up, feeling great. I walked into the party and everyone started laughing. Did they notice my new stylish socks? Nope. Turns out I had accidentally put on 2 different shoes. One was brown and the other was black. Did I panic? Nope. I laughed and said, "Well, I guess I'm starting a new fashion trend." That was the last time I tried to be too serious about my wardrobe. When you're in your 50s, you might be stressing about what people think, or how you look, or whether you're doing enough in life. But here's the thing. In your 80s, you realize none of that matters. If you trip on your own feet, laugh. If you forget someone's name, don't worry, it happens to me all the time. Just say, "Hey, I've had a lot of names to remember, cut me some slack." So, if you're starting to feel too much pressure, just remember, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to enjoy the ride. Laugh at your mistakes, enjoy the funny moments, and don't take yourself too seriously. After all, we all know the only perfect person was that guy in the painting. And look, he's been hanging out on the wall for centuries without a care in the world. Lesson 2. Stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison. The thief of joy, they say. I used to get caught in that trap. I'd look at others with their perfect careers, perfect families, and perfect everything and think, why don't I have that? But at 82, I've realized that life isn't about keeping up with others. It's about being content with your own journey. Let me tell you, when I was in my 50s, I thought I should have achieved more by now. But now, if someone tells me, "Look at them, they've done so much," I just smile and say, "Oh, they may have more Facebook friends, but I've got something better. Peace of mind." Don't fall for the illusion of perfection. Everyone's life looks great from the outside. But behind the scenes, we're all just trying to figure out where we put our reading glasses. Lesson 3. Laugh at yourself. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that you have to laugh at yourself. Because let's be honest, the alternative is getting upset over how many times you forget where you put your keys. I used to be all about perfection, making sure everything looked just right. But now, I walk into a room and forget why I'm there and I just laugh. In fact, the other day I was at the store, and I looked down to find spinach stuck in my teeth. Instead of getting embarrassed, I just said to the cashier, "Well, looks like I've got my greens for the day." We all know that life is full of little hiccups. At my age, it's either laugh or cry, and I'm much better at laughing. So if you forget what you were doing or bump into a door frame, just take a second, laugh, and say, "At least I'm still here." Lesson 4. Life is too short to hold grudges. At my age, I've realized something simple. Life's too short to carry around all that anger. Let's face it. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Do you think they care? Nope. They've moved on, probably eating ice cream and laughing at your bitterness while you're sitting there stewing like a grumpy pot of stew. I used to get all bent out of shape over things that, looking back, are so trivial. She didn't call me back. He forgot my birthday. Well, guess what? At 82, I figured out that the best birthday gift I can give myself is peace of mind. So, drop that grudge like it's a bad habit. Don't let those old arguments steal your joy. Trust me, you'll sleep better, and your back won't hurt from carrying all that resentment around. Lesson 5. Don't let fear stop you from trying new things. Now, I know when you hit your 50s, your body starts acting like a grumpy old man, creaking, cracking, complaining. But you know what? It's never too late to try something new. In my 70s, I picked up painting. Not that I thought I'd be the next Picasso or anything, more like the chair in the corner that needs a lot of work. But it's been so much fun. We're all so worried about looking silly or making a fool of ourselves. But at 82, I've realized something. No one cares. They're too busy worrying about their own stuff. So go ahead. Take that dance class, join that knitting circle, or learn how to play the ukulele. Who cares if you look goofy? I did a dance class once where I swear I hit every step, but it wasn't the steps. I was just happy I was moving. And so, what if you fall? You've got an excuse now. I'm just practicing my dramatic entrance. Lesson 6. Embrace change, even when it's difficult. Change. The thing we all fear. But I'm here to tell you, after 82 years, I can tell you that the more you fight it, the more it fights back. It's like trying to swim against the tide in a kiddie pool. You're just going to end up looking ridiculous. The best part? Change isn't the end of the world. It's a new adventure. You see, I used to think, what happened to the good old days? But now, I look at it like this. The good old days are when I could eat an entire loaf of bread without regretting it the next day. Now, I've got a new daily adventure, figuring out which joint is going to creak first. But the funny thing is, I'm learning to adapt. I embrace my slower pace. Let's be honest, I'm not trying to run a marathon. I'm just happy if I can remember where I left my glasses. Lesson 7. Your happiness is your own responsibility. When I was younger, I used to think happiness came from impressing others, buying new things, or being the life of the party. Well, let me tell you, that ship sailed years ago. Now, my happiness comes from the simple things, like not getting lost in my own house or realizing I didn't leave the oven on. The bar has been lowered, folks, and it feels so much better. You see, when you're younger, you're worried about what everyone else thinks. But at 82, I don't even worry about the remote control. I could spend an hour looking for it, only to find it in my pocket. But that's okay. My happiness doesn't depend on things or approval anymore. It comes from knowing I can enjoy a cup of coffee and a good nap without stressing about what's next. So, if you're worried that you're not living up to someone else's standards, here's a little advice. Start living up to your standards. Trust me, you're much easier to please when you stop comparing yourself to others. Lesson 8. Don't sweat the small stuff. You know, when I was younger, I spent way too much time stressing about the little things, like making sure my hair was in place or that my shoes matched. I used to think if things weren't just perfect, the world would collapse. But at 82, I've got news for you. Life isn't a Pinterest board, and things don't always go as planned. Now I see a lopsided tie, and I laugh. I spill a little coffee on my shirt? Well, that's just a coffee-stained chic look now. And wrinkles? Let me tell you, the best thing about wrinkles is they prove I've lived long enough to get them. So, trust me, when you reach a certain age, you realize that nothing in this world is worth stressing over. Laugh at the little things. If you're still stressing about your hair, just remember, it's one bad hair day away from the perfect I don't care look. Well, that wraps up our little chat, dear friends. Thank you so much for spending a few moments with this 82-year-old soul. I truly hope my stories and insights gave you a smile, a bit of wisdom, or at least something to think about. Remember, if you're in your 50s, you're still young in my book. practically a spring chicken. You've got plenty of beautiful years ahead, and it warms my heart to know you let me be a part of your journey today. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like. Go on, press that thumbs up. It's a small click for you, but it means the world to me. And leave a comment down below. I'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts. Maybe share one of your own life lessons, or let me know which part of my ramblings resonated with you. I may be 82, but I read every single comment. It's my favorite bedtime reading. Your stories and feedback keep me feeling young and connected. And sometimes, they even teach me a thing or two. Now, if you want to hear more from this old-timer, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Join our little intergenerational family here. I promise to keep the wisdom and the dad jokes coming as long as I can. Thank you much.